Hi, good morning and happy Saturday. I am Ellie and I am a certified yoga instructor. We are currently here at the Just Yoga studio. If this is your first class with us, the studio Just Yoga has very graciously donated their studio so we can have our Facebook Saturday morning yoga classes. So I'm very excited and very happy to be a part of that collaboration with the Pink Ribbon Place. A couple of things before we get started. Make sure you do have your yoga mat. This is our yoga class. 1 to 2, maybe even 3 blankets. We will be needing at least two, but go ahead and pull up. I said up to three. I always like to have a couple on hand, just in case of anything that I need to adjust, modify for whatever it is during the practice. And lastly, if you happen to have two of the yoga blocks, go ahead and pull those out. If you don't, you can always use some books, maybe a really sturdy box. And I always, again, like to have them on hand just for, again, any modifications or variations that we take during the practice. With that being said, please always make sure you are listening to your body. You're not pushing yourself any further than what your body's going to give you for your practice today. The last thing we want is to have any accidents during our class. So let's go ahead and get started. I had a little bit of coffee this morning, so I feel a little energetic. Today's class, I want to go ahead and start reclined. Go ahead and come all the way down onto your back. Hands can go, I like to put one hand on my belly and then one hand on my chest. And this kind of just helps me to remind me to keep breathing. Let's go ahead and take a big inhale through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Last one. Big inhale, filling the lungs, filling the belly. And exhale through the mouth. Starting to focus on our breath. Making the shoulders just a little bit heavier onto our mat. Relaxing the space in between our eyebrows. And please take the next 20 to 25 minutes for yourself, for your practice. Whatever it is that you have going on outside, acknowledge it and then send it on its way. Like I said, this is your practice. So please only invite things that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, and really anything that serves you during your practice. Continuing to deepen the breath. You are more than welcome to stay here if you would like. But if you would like just a little bit of movement on this Saturday morning, keeping the eyes closed, go ahead and bend those knees about the distance of your mat. And then just letting them fall side to side. Windshield wiping. Starting to release a little bit of that tension in the low back. When you're ready, coming to a standstill. Go ahead and bring those knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice hug, rolling side to side. Maybe start to activate the toes, pulling the toes back. And once again, when you're ready, coming back down, placing those feet on your mat. And you can slowly start opening your eyes. Taking a big inhale and exhale out. From here, let's go ahead and straighten out that left leg, bringing it all the way down. Go ahead and hug that right leg in. Keeping both toes active, pulling back. Placing that right hand down on the floor, and with that left hand, taking that knee across the body for a very gentle twist. One more breath here. And when you're ready, coming back. Placing that that right foot down and bringing that left foot in. Hugging it in, still keeping all those toes active. And when you're ready, taking that knee, across the body with that right hand, left hand coming down onto the mat, onto the floor. And maybe you'll hear a little bit of that spine popping, as long as it's a good pop. We don't want no bad pops. And bringing that knee back in. Good, and hug those knees one more time. Rolling side to side. And coming back to center, placing those feet about hip width distance apart. And you want them close enough where you can almost very lightly touch the back of the heel with the fingers. So not super, super close, but you can kind of feel a little bit of that heel up against your fingertips. Placing those hands on the side. When you're ready, inhale, begin lifting the hips up, squeezing the thighs one towards the other, engaging your glutes. And when you're ready, coming down. Inhale, begin lifting those hips up. Maybe they go just a little higher. And very slowly bringing them all the way down. And last one, big inhale, lifting the hips up a little higher. Engaging the glutes, squeezing the thighs, really pushing into that mat. And breathing. And all the way down. Taking the feet a little wider, and then just letting the feet fall side to side. Once you're ready, coming back to center, we're going to go ahead and come up. And we're going to go straight into hands and knees. So go ahead and grab one of your blankets. I like to place it on my knees. We won't be here super, super long time, but I still always like to place a blanket for the knees. And then our hands are going to be about hip width distance apart. Sorry, our hands are going to be shoulder distance apart. There's no way that that's even going to happen. And then our knees are going to be about hip width distance apart. Sorry, again, I said I had coffee this morning, so I'm a little more excited, a little more bouncy than normal. So from here, we're going to go ahead and drop that belly down. And exhale, tucking the chin, rounding the spine. Inhale, dropping the belly. And exhale, rounding the spine. Last one, dropping the belly. And exhale, rounding the spine. Coming back to center. From here, I want to do one more little exercise. Keeping those knees about hip width distance apart, like we said. I want you to go ahead and start looking towards that left foot. So we want to make sure we're keeping the shoulders back and start looking towards the back. And if you're comfortable, go ahead and walk those hands just a little towards that right side. Again, what this is going to do is going to start opening up that left rib cage. Continuing to breathe here. Maybe walk the hands just a little bit more. And when you're ready, coming back to center. And start walking those hands towards that left side, opening up again, now the right side of our rib cage. Breathing in and exhaling out. One more breath here. And when you're ready, bringing those hands all the way back. Go ahead and take the knees wide, big toes are going to touch, sending the hips back and making a little pillow with your hands. Just taking a quick moment here to catch our breath. And next, inhale, we're going to come all the way up, back to our hands and knees. And from here, we're just simply going to bring our chest down. You could go ahead and remove that blanket and place it on the side. And you're just going to be coming all the way down. So a couple of things here. If you want to take a moment just to watch the two different variations that I'm going to give you, we're going to be coming into a very slight back bend. It's pretty mild. It's nothing too intense. But because we are coming fully down onto the chest, I am going to offer a different option where there is a little bit less pressure on the chest. So if you just want to take a moment just to see the two options, and then you can decide for yourself which one is going to be better, more comfortable for you. That is perfectly okay. So the first one, from hands and knees, we're just simply going to come all the way down. And then we're going to make sure that our toes, our feet are touching, our thighs, everything is touching, kind of pushing towards each other, and we're really engaging the legs. Hands will be on the sides. And then we're going to come all the way down, bringing our chest all the way down onto our mat. Like I said, this could be a little bit too much for somebody, so I will be offering a second option. So hands will be here, about shoulder distance apart, and you're just going to gently drag those hands back. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale and begin peeling that chest off of the mat, engaging the glutes, pushing those thighs one towards the other. And the hands will be very light here. Almost as they're just here for decoration. So that's going to be the first option. Your second option, you're also going to come down all the way down. And instead of coming all the way, bringing that chest all the way towards the mat, we're going to keep staying on our forearms to, again, create a little bit of space in between our chest and the mat. Hands are also going to be hip. Again, I keep wanting to say hip width distance for the hands. Not possible. So shoulder distance apart. I do apologize. So hands will be shoulder distance apart, making sure our fingers are nice and spread out. And from here, we're just simply going to inhale, and we're going to lift that chest up. Still working the legs, still working the thigh, working all the bottom half, squeezing the glutes. And we're going to start coming forward in this motion. So it's a little bit less noticeable, but you're still working the same, almost all of the same areas. You're still working that low back or strengthening, that low back, and we're still working the legs. So go ahead and come down if you're still hanging out up here in your cat-cow here posture, hands and knees. Go ahead and come down to whichever option is the most comfortable for you. Making sure those thighs are pushing one towards the other. The feet are very close together. And whichever option you decide to take today, go ahead and place those hands where you need them to. I will be taking this variation or this posture, which is a little higher up on the forearms. And when you're ready, pulling those shoulders back and inhale, peeling that chest up. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs. And exhale. And go a little bit. We're going to do that one more time. And when you're ready, inhale, peeling that chest, bringing it forward. Hands are active and feet are pushing towards each other. And letting go. Go ahead and wiggle your spine if you need to, getting a little movement in. Whatever it is that you need right now, go ahead and take it. If you're ready to keep moving forward, go ahead and push yourself all the way up. We are going to go ahead, come on to seated. Crossing the legs, you are always more than welcome to bring that blanket, folding it in half, placing it behind you. So I know the back is going to feel a little bit odd just because we just did a couple of back bends. Whatever you do, do not fold forward from here. Take those hands up. Inhale, exhale, take that left hand, bring it to that right knee. Right hand goes behind us, and we're going to twist. So because we just went through a back bend, or we did a back bend, the last thing you want to do is fold forward. I know it sounds like a really good idea. It sounds like something that your body would enjoy, but actually what you want to do is you want to neutralize your spine first. So we want to come into a twist to make sure, our spine is neutralized right after that back bend. Inhale, hands back up, and switching sides. And still breathing in. And when you're ready, inhale, hands up. And hands to heart center. Now that we've gone ahead and done our twist, let's go ahead and take the feet, the bottoms of the feet together. If you have any funky knee stuff going on, you can always take a block if you happen to have a block. If you don't have one, take your blanket, towel, whatever it is that you have, roll it up and place it on the knee. So both of those options work just as well. From here, grabbing the toes, go ahead and roll those shoulders back. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall, and then exhale, begin walking those hands forward. And breathing in, making sure we're still keeping that back nice and straight. We're not rounding to reach further. Instead, I want you to pull those shoulders back, keep that back straight, which means you're going to start pulling back just a little bit. But in the long run, it'll be a lot better for you in this posture. And when you're ready, start walking those hands back. From here, let's go ahead and keep that left leg as it is. So if you're using blankets or anything, go ahead and keep it and go ahead and straighten out that right leg. So I'm going to back up because I might be cutting off on the camera. Not that I have very long legs. I really am. I'm about 5'1", 5'1.5" on a good day. So I'm pretty little legs. From here, keeping that right foot straight. We're going to keep those toes nice and active, and you're also going to be keeping the toes active on that left leg. Go ahead and inhale, rolling the shoulders back, and exhale, coming forward. And again here, there is no competition. So if today your hands are just making it to the shin, that's great. If they make it to the ankle, that's great. If they're making it to the toes, that's great. Wherever it is your hands are landing is perfectly fine. Like I said, this is not a competition. Yoga is not a competition, ever. And slowly start walking those hands back. Using your hands, go ahead and tuck them under that right knee. Bending that right knee and taking out that left leg. Setting up, and when we're ready, inhale, getting nice and tall, and exhale, start walking those hands forward. One more breath here. Maybe you reach a little bit further, and maybe you don't, and that's okay too. And start walking those hands all the way back. Taking the feet, one more time, taking those hands, tucking them under that left knee, taking the feet wide, and just letting them fall side to side. I feel like time goes by so fast. We're already coming to the end of our class today. I know time flies by when you're ready, coming to a standstill. And let's go ahead and come onto our backs. So we're gonna do one final twist. And then after that, you are more than welcome to stay laying down as we finish up our class. Or if you want to join me in seated, you are always welcome to do that as well. So coming onto our back, knees are bent. Let's go ahead and inhale, lifting that right leg up, crossing it over the left, picking up the hips, taking them towards the right side and letting those knees drop towards the left. Hands are coming out to the sides, and we are looking towards our right side. If you want a little bit of a deeper twist, you can always look towards the left, and that shall give you a little bit more, like I said, of a deep twist. So whichever option you prefer. Taking big, full breaths. And even though it feels just like it's a little compromised because we are twisting, try sending that breath to that low back, to the upper back, to the back of the lungs. And next, inhale, lifting those knees all the way up, picking up the hips, placing them in the center, undoing the legs. Inhale, taking that left leg up, crossing it over the right, taking the hips to the left, and dropping those knees towards the right. And again, hands out on the sides. This is actually one of my favorite twists just because it always feels good. Like there's never, I think, a time that I've had during my practice that I did this and I didn't like it or it didn't feel good, or like it's always such a nice way to finish class. It's just a way to kind of let that last bit of like stress kind of, ring out. And it's a really nice one because its real only purpose is just to make you feel good. One more breath here. Next, inhale, bringing those knees back up, realigning the hips, undoing the legs. You are more than welcome to windshield wipe, letting those knees fall side to side. And when you are ready, coming to a standstill. You are more than welcome to stay here if you have the privilege of a little extra time this morning. Please, I highly recommend that you stay here. Close the eyes and just enjoy a little bit of that silence, of that peace. But if you're a little more crunched on time, you can always join me seated. You can take your blanket and place it behind you. Taking the hands to the knees or heart center, whichever you prefer. Rolling those shoulders back. You are more than welcome to keep the eyes closed. Taking these last couple of moments to enjoy that very sweet energy that you have created. I want to thank you for taking just a little time for yourself, for your practice, for doing something truly beautiful. It is always an honor and a privilege for me and Just Yoga Studio to be a part of your practice. Please have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week. And like always, please continue to check the Riverside Community Health Foundation page as well as the Pink Ribbon page for any updates or any news. It is always, like I said, a privilege and an honor to be a part of your day. With that being said, I want to wish you a very lovely week, And until we meet again, namaste.